blessed morning to you out there. You're welcome to the program, The Dailies on Echo Television International. Another brand new day. I'm Sela Elisha. I'm great, thank you so much. And we're privileged to have our engineer Musa Mega Party. Good morning. All right.
To be here.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, before we dive straight to the paper this morning, it's like you aspiring for the position of, we would like to know what actually...
Your people are yearning for fundamental development in an imaginary society. There's for the yearning of his people before 2019.
Wow, that's great.
Even though I contested 2019, but I joined PDP since 1999. That was the reason why I joined politicking. Because if you have your people at heart, apart from being closer to God that you pray for them, you must join politics, because apart from God's power, there's no power that is above political power in the whole world. That is the reason why I decided to join politics.
Actually rally around you, give you their mandate, and believe that you have what it takes to actually, lead them. So we wish you all the best, and we hope that for this election, the number of stories. And I would like to start with APC PCC. The writer following the story says ruling party hammer other West African electoral law forum, which they met with what the result will be. The big story on this day, 1,794,726 wins in 12 states too. Kwankwaso has 1 million. By my left, you can see the column, the state, and the mainly the folk on, any of the story that's of interest to you.
We have our reservation, says PDP, Labour Party, factional ADC. Let's have e-transmission of results come presidential election. However, we still have the gubernatorial election coming forward, and we have a lot of tension, and we can see that we have protesters saying let's have e-transmission of results. We have people calling for the resignation of the INEC chairman. The question is, sir, can we still trust the process? Can we still trust that coming the gubernatorial elections, that Nigerians can have faith and trust on INEC to do the right thing, that truly our vote will count?
Actually, some of the newspapers saying protesters. In fact, first before this time, when Nigeria decided, a lot of hanky-panky had been carried out, and Nigeria remained quiet. Only few people raised alarm, and Nigeria was calm for another 87 years. Nothing happened. And when you didn't prepare your bed, do you expect somebody to come and prepare for you? They would have been protested when Jonathan was unseated in the same way. What happened during Jonathan's regime is what happened today. So automatically, I assume it has been a practice in Nigerian politicking that when somebody imagines 15 political, actually, if we knew that what has happened today, 2 years ago, we will send it. But it has happened. All Nigerians, if we baptize our heart, baptize our minds, it is there that we now think of bringing a positive change. If that change of anticipated change in 2015 was not carried out, and by now we are complaining for what? Because we have left a gap in between. We have left a vacuum which we're supposed to fill that vacuum with our intention, with what we desired to happen. That was our expectation. But when we kept quiet, nothing happened, nothing took place. Nigeria was masterminded by few cabals, by few politicians, by few money baggers, and the rest. It is now, after the result is out, that we are planning, that protesters will come out. There are a lot of things that have been happening before primaries in 2022. The primary election of the two major political parties, there are a lot of ills that took place. Nigerians didn't protest. Nigerian youth didn't protest. Is it at the verge of when an elected president was announced, that we will now prepare to react negatively? I don't believe in that.
So I would like to pick it up from there. From that story, we could clearly remember that over 300 billion naira was being disbursed for e-transmission of results.
Yeah.
That is to say that the result will be transmitted electronically, not manually, sir. And if it means that it's going to be transmitted electronically, then that means we were supposed to see that the results being uploaded were supposed to be shown alongside, while we have some of the state residents, voicing that, is this the democracy we are fighting? Of the INEC chairman are actually saying this out of place. Yesterday we saw INEC chairman should step down because from what they can see, democracy is not at play.
Professor Yakubu is not supposed to conduct this present election, going by the history for a governorship. I was also the chairman of my party, what we see, so that we know all the intricate it takes to transmit the result, so that we see, and then we enlighten our followers.
Sure.
But that one was not done. All the 15 political parties kept quiet. All the cabals within the party parameter kept quiet. Isn't it? Those major opposition, like PDP, they kept quiet. Talk less of we that are smaller opposition. Under normal circumstances, we must demand for our right to see how effective and efficient is this beavers. First of all, that would have been our demand for 3 months ago. That our expectation should be real since last year November. All this that we have been talking about, free and fair election, we didn't test it. We're supposed to test all these things to our visibilities so that we'll adapt it, that these things will be real and visible. But we kept quiet. We were comparing within ourselves. Those major parties were claiming they are major parties. The opposition was claiming that they want to take over the government. We that were coming up, we are demanding that let us also come with full force, not minding that the electronic process that Nigeria has been advocating, Nigeria has sunk a lot of money into it. We have never demanded to see the visibility of the reality of these machines. They were not tested at their representative. Is it at the late hour that we will now demand that we don't have confidence in it? Those things were sealed. We have never demanded that it should be make it open. Let us test it. We didn't.
No, but they trust them that, during the election in Ekiti, beavers were used. So maybe.
Were you sure that Nigerians trusted the Ekiti Ocean result? The result, Ocean result is still even in court as of now.
True.
True.
So why should Nigerians trust that what happened there? If it is true what took place in Ocean, why don't they display for us to see with the political parties and then the aspirant, so that let us have confidence that what took place in Ocean will be tested in every step in the procedure that INEC is going to use. But those are blank checks that people were saying that this is a check given to you, but there was no figure. That is how we have been carrying these beavers. And even INEC itself. People have demanded that Yakubu should go. The same people were fighting that Yakubu should stay. It is not you and others that are demanding that Yakubu should continue. It is we, the politicians, that we are demanding that Yakubu should not go. Under normal circumstances, assuming the word of our mouth and heart comes together, we politicians, and we demanded Yakubu to go, Yakubu would have gone since.
So who is to blame?
We, the politicians, are to blame ourselves.
All right.
Because one, we didn't sanitize ourselves. We didn't have fast value to what we are vying for. Let me ask you, even the major opposition party, the PDP, they will have organized themselves and demanded that Yakubu should go. But they refuse. Even we, the other small opposition, we didn't demand Yakubu to go. But it's a signal that is a handwriting written on the wall that since 2015, 2019, there were anomalies in this INEC procedure. Isn't it? But we kept quiet, think that maybe it will be my turn. Why do I demand for somebody to go? In anticipation. Why do I demand somebody to go? Thinking that it will be my turn. And when the turn comes and it is not yours, you are not crying that Yakubu should go. Yakubu should go to where? Yakubu have finished his assignment. You want him to go to where? To go and work in your house? Or to do what?
So, sir, if I'm getting you right, everything that should have been done way before now.
Yes.
But it is too late for Nigerians to do anything concerning the e-transmission and even concerning the INEC chair. But, sir, let's not forget that we still have the global elections coming forward. What can Nigerians do to make sure that we have a better process?
When you say Nigerians, you better refer it to what the politicians will do.
All right,
to me,
sir.
first of all.
What the politicians do?
Yes. What the politicians are supposed to do, one, they have seen the handwriting on the wall. And Nigeria will be like runabout now. Because for those that has prepared themselves, there are other people backing what has took place. And there are other people that are not backing it. So now, the mindset of politicians are divided. Those that are rejoicing will be continue rejoicing up to the time the election will come. Those that will be mourning, they will be continuing mourning. Because most Nigerians will be mourning without direction. And those that are rejoicing will be continuing rejoicing. That is my yearning to Nigerian politicians, which I'm part of them. We must prepare our bed. We don't expect somebody to come and prepare our bed. When we remove sentiment out of our politicking, we can go together. There are not between the two major political parties. There were pre-arrangement that the power should be shifted to the south. The two major political parties did it? No. One of the political parties fought itself. We, those from the smaller parties, there was a time we planned to come together and form an alliance to unseat the PDP and the APC. That alliance couldn't work. Are we not the people representing Nigerians? Are we not the people standing in for Nigerians? But if we cannot come together for a common goal, for a result-oriented program, to harness development among ourselves, to agree and disagree with ourselves, why do we blame Nigerians? As a father in the house, you are the one that's supposed to sanitize your house before a neighbor comes in. But when your house is porous, any other person will come in without even asking you. So what took place, it is our fault, the politicians. When the politicians demand that Yakubu will go, there's nothing that will stop Yakubu from going. Wow. But when the politicians kept quiet, waiting for their turn, thinking that when people were praising them, that we want to assist this government, APC is not performing. When you realize that APC is not performing, you should go back and amend yourself, prepare very well, and then put your strategies in place to unseat the APC government. But you still went and leave your house porous, leave Nigerians porous without direction. It is other politicians, they were not even living in this country. It is at the period, at the verge of politicking, that they came back and stayed in this country. And they were looking for a desperate change. Can that one be visible? Can that one be real? So that's why most of what took place, we politicians were the one that endorsed the happenings. Assuming we agree and disagree with ourselves, things would have changed before now. But as of now, what will you do? It has happened. Let us go back and amend ourselves in our various states, various local government, so that if we are sincere to ourselves, we can still make change in the gubernatorial election and the House of Assembly.
Sure.
Let me assure you, assuming the major opposition went back and then put things in order, out of these 36 governors, and then the major opposition have about 20 or 26 or 25, with other smaller opposition getting a seat of governor, and think they can prepare themselves to unseat the present administration after 4 years. But when we will go back as individually, fighting for our political parties, thinking that those smaller ones, let us crush them so that they should not have saying at the National Assembly, on the State Assembly, what can you achieve? That's why the major parties will still intimidate, dominate, make their show the way they want. Because we are not together in principles, in operation, in mindset, and in concept.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Going on with the Blueprint newspaper, federal government are carrying out to Obasanjo on 2023 polls. Ex-President middle sum can't thwart choice of millions of Nigerians. The writer says, let the aggrieved seek legal redress coming from Lai Mohammed. Ignore Obi Allah electoral process run full course, Akerinde tells Buhari. Says ex-president conducted worst election in democratic history. Let INEC finish its job, Afenifere warns anti-democratic elements. Still on the Blueprint newspaper, we have PDP Shekaro wins Kano Central seat on NNPP ticket. Labour Party's Ireti Kindebi wins FCT Senate seat. Emulate Jonathan congratulate Tinubu, APC cancels Atiku, Obi and Konkoso. At the downside of the paper, Nigeria threatened Ghana now channel for Russia's crude oil to China and India. INEC declares its election inconclusive. AU observers mission visit IGP Hills Police on election security. And that's all the news on Blueprint newspaper.
All right, let's take a look at the Daily Times newspaper. Presidential election results. APC leading as Okowa Dati ADC seek cancellation of 2023 election. Demand resignation of INEC chairman. The big story, West African elders, urge peace, meet leading presidential candidates. Now, sir, presidential election results. APC leading as Okowa Dati ADC seek cancellation of the 2023 elections. Now, so I would like to have your take on this.
Okay, from common mindset, we are all human beings. There were these foreign observers that met in my own university, one from one of the European universities. They came, we were about 15 political party chairmen, together with them we were brainstorming. One of them asked us, the chairman, are you okay with the process of INEC? I told them, look, we were together with the INEC officials yesterday before you people came for a discussion. But I started imagining myself, right when they called us to Central Bank to come and observe the election materials. We were only showed the cartons, and we didn't demand for what is in the carton. We didn't demand for what is in the box. We are the beneficiaries, isn't it? We are the political parties. Under normal circumstances, we're supposed to know the content of what is in the box. But we were not shown. We were not demand that we have to see the beavers, test run it before 15 of us, the chairman of the political parties, in the presence of INEC. It was not done. We kept quiet. And that's why when the observers were asking us that, look, are you people aware of the process put in place by INEC, and are you people satisfied with the process? We unanimously answer as a market question. We ask that we are okay with the process, but under normal circumstances, we were just singing a chorus that we are okay with the process. The process was not known to us, and the process was not known to our political parties. If the major opposition and the major parties raise up their hand that we are okay with the process, who are we? By the way, we just agree that let us go like that. But in the normal sense, I know a lot of complaints will come up later. Because when two people are fighting, and later you ask them, who beat this one? And they say, both of them turned down at the same time. Nobody. This shows that either one is not telling the truth, or both of them are not telling the truth. That is what happened. Actually, right from the process that the federal government, the INEC, has been advocating that there will be a change. The INEC system was not changed. Those people that conducted that election, 2015, 2019, were still there. And if you want to overhaul a system, you must do it without fear or favor. INEC is not independent. If Nigerians demand for change of Yakubu didn't go. If Nigerians demand for change of other commissioners, Nigerians didn't talk. Let me tell you from the inside, most of these federal commissioners, were they equated based on the state? Were they equated based on the religion? Were they equated based on performance? You know what this regime has put in place? Why do you still go and say that you want the election to be cancelled? You demand that the election should be cancelled after you know the process put in place. They are 80% wrong. And he didn't talk. You were still thinking that when it favored me, let the other people go and die. And those who were demanding for favor, it didn't favor them. And now, they want to inject people from the back to get a result. It's not going to be possible.
Of course.
Then come, accept what was given to us. Ateno, let us come together, seeing what has took place, seeing what has happened, so that we'll go back and amend our clock. When the beavers were not transmitting the result, as per the promises of INEC, what the major politicians supposed to do, they're supposed to call for Nigerians that this election should be cancelled. But when they are getting favor in their favor, they were clapping, organizing mini meetings at home in their favor. But now, at the tail end, when the race is about completion, now they started seeing that it is not in their favor. They started going to the collection center in Abuja.
To cross-check.
To strike. But when they were busy dancing, when they saw that their parties are going up higher and higher. They didn't talk until when they discover that their party are diminishing. It is now their strike the National Collection Center to go and intervene for what? Let them allow Nigerians to intervene, not themselves.
Okay.
Because they have lived porous, they have lived INEX porous, they have lived the politicking porous. They didn't foresee that in anticipation such a thing will happen. But the handwriting was on the wall since 2015 when Jonathan was there. Jonathan was a very simple president that accepted what took place. But I was the state coordinator, PDP Reloaded in Adamawa State at that time. I'm one of a very big person in PDP at that time because I was the state coordinator, PDP Reloaded, under the chairmanship of Edwin Clark. He's our national chairman. And that my office was powerful. We know what took place. But Nigerians unanimously accept it in a simple way. So what do they be surprised? What are they surprised of seeing what took place today?
So people are waking up from their sleep.
So,
but before we continue on that, I would like us to take a break so that we can actually open the phone lines because I know Nigerians are eager. Like they have a lot of questions, but just like you said, we need to remain calm. So I would like us to take this break, and when we come back, we'll open the phone lines and continue with the conversation. Please do not go anywhere. Thank you for staying tuned. It's still the Dailies on Equa Television International. We've been looking at, some issues that are coming up from the papers, our reaction as, Nigerians and also political parties. And I promise you that when we come back from the break, we'll open the phone line so you can call us, please. Do remember that when you call us, you should turn down the volume of your TV set or move totally away. And please let us behave civilly. No cussing, no anything that will incite violence whatsoever, because we're peaceful Nigerians and I believe that we'll continue to be peaceful. I still have with me Rachel Tanze, and I still have Dr. Engineer Musa Megana. He is the gubernatorial candidate for Adamawa State under the YPP party. Thank you so much, sir, for being here with us.
Thank you.
All right, we already have a caller, Sam from Bari. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mrs. Sele. Good morning, Mrs. Ricky. And good morning, our guest analyst for the day.
Thank you.
The election result has been put out by the Independent National Electoral Commissions. But you will agree with me that if everything has gone according to the wishes of majority of Nigerians, there would have been celebration all over Nigeria today for a new dawn that may have bettered on us. But because the power that be have choose to do what they have orchestrated for, apparently, we have a nation in mourning, a nation subdued with their feelings of joy. Democracy was meant to bring excitement to the generality of a nations. Democracy was a process invented by the Americans to do away with a system that have failed the people. But here, our own is a system that has become a failure in the sight of many, become entrenched, and they continue to force it on the rest of us. If you see the trajectory of democracy from 1999 to date, if you plot the graph, you can see that we are going down, the profile, not going up. Why? Because those who have handled this, handled by the jugular will continue to insist on doing that. But I will enjoy all my Nigerians. We have done the needful. Let us leave the rest to God to do the. It is just all about a farmer who has planted his own crop and prayed for God to water it. We have done our own. But I want to assure the studio and Nigerians that this, this betrayal of democracy that have happened last Saturday will negatively impact the governorship and the other election will come. The Nigerian and the rest will see that what they have done in the last day will further dampen the morale of Nigeria. Those of us who have been on the line with hunger and everything to make sure that we define a new score for next Nigeria, how many of us will be encouraged to go and join the line, to go through the whole of the sum and all that it takes to vote again? Because we surely know that our vote will not count. So why go to suffer yourself? This is not good for Nigeria. Thank you. And do have a good deliberation this morning.
So I don't know if you like to react.
Yes, I want to comment on my brother's comment. Actually, we still have a room for change, or we still have a room for amendment. If today the INEC has decided to announce declared Bola Tinubu as a winner, APC, if Nigerians has fast value to what they want, as the first speaker says, we will go back and work. That by the time we have 2/3 or maybe 24 or 25 or 26 states that are not the governorship candidate of those political parties, swap all these seats, leaving the few ones for APC, this change that we are yearning for will be visible. Because the seat of governors are the conquer womb behind it. If we can go back to our state and make our right choice, because it is at a state level, we determine it, we see it, we determine the winner, we vote the person that will win the election. Actually, if out of these 36 states, we have 25 that are governors, that they are not APC governors, believe me, Tinubu that has been declared by INEC or by the government of the day will not be comfortable for 4 years. So still there's a room for changes if Nigerians mean well for themselves. If Nigerians has fast value for politicking, let us go back. If most of the House of Assemblies are from the opposition parties, most of the governors are from the opposition parties, believe me, Tinubu will not be comfortable for 4 years. And all the electionary process can be amended to suit 2027. But when we go back and say that, because of what happened, we'll fold our arms, we'll not go back and then elect person of our choice or party of our choice, believe me, more and more will happen. But if we go back and tighten our belt and say that we must see that these changes that are within our limit, let us make sure that these changes took place from the House of Assembly and governors. But when we still say that let us follow them, because if we say let us then follow them, the APC governors will still emerge. But as a result of what happens, if Nigerians are mourning, why don't we go back and put strategy in place so that opposition will swap all the seat of governors?
All right,
and the
sir,
other
let's take this call from Emeka from Enugu. Good morning, Emeka. Hello, Mr. Emeka, are you there?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling from Emeka. I'm calling from Enugu.
All right, go on, sir.
There's something I've heard you say that captured my mind. That when results were coming in favor of some political parties, they were happy. I want to ask, was the same result announced in each state? Was the same result that was announced as a national headquarters, INEC national headquarters?
All right, Emeka, I guess that's your question,
Yes.
so I guess.
All right.
All right, sir. From
My-
Emeka. All right, go on.
My brother Emeka, this result that was announced from INEC headquarters, was it not the same people at the state allowed that result to be announced there? Was it not the same resident electoral officers from the state forwarded them manually instead of them to pass through the beavers? So it is in anticipation that what happens in the state is the one that was transferred there, even though they went through the back door. But it is in anticipation that it is the one that was announced there. Because, first of all, the result was collected in the center, in the state INEC, before it has been forwarded to the national. But what baffles me, as what you are saying, Nigerians would have held that result from the state, refusing to be transferred manually. But we didn't. We allowed those people to done their worst, and then they forwarded the result, and we left them, and they have announced what they want. Is it now that we are going to react? When we react now, it is at the detriment of these masses that will suffer. When you look at this, Emeka, listen very well, my friend. If we look at what has been happening in Nigeria, when Jonathan was there, when Obasanjo increased fuel, Nigerians demonstrated. When Jonathan increased fuel, Nigerians demonstrated. But when you look at a lot of things that has happened
All right,
during
sir,
this present
we have
regime.
Mr. Emeka on the line. Sorry, so you can answer together. Hello,
So-
Emeka. Please turn down the volume of your TV set, Emeka. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, go on, sir. We are with you.
All right. I want to tip something in this election. Yes. Nigerians are feeling bad for what happened on Saturday. Because in my polling booth in Henshaw here, Raja Henshaw, we see that Labour Party won. They had to change everything overnight. Even though I paid transport all the way from Onitsha down to Calabar to come and cast my vote. Inside the transport, I had to buy my money with a rate of 28,000 naira to give me 20,000 naira. So checking the transport from Onitsha down to Calabar, 15,000 naira, and extra 8,000 naira from the POS of buying my own money to Calabar here cost me 23,000 naira to come and cast a vote. And this kind of thing happened in this country. Everybody's seeing it. We in Nigeria, we the youth, we are not happy. There's nothing can hide in the eyes of the Lord. There's nothing. Everybody's suffering in this country. Everybody is suffering. Look at fuel price, look at diesel. Nobody's comfortable in this country again. There's no place that Igbo man go and feel comfortable. So, well, anything that they want to advertise, swear to my life, never will make me ever to come and cast my vote again till this one end. We are bitter enough. See what happened in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Emeka. You raised a lot, sir.
My brother Emeka, I know you are still a young man. First of all, withdraw that statement that you will never cast a vote again. Because if you don't cast your vote, you are still adding more injuries to what is happening. So your vote is your right. is your constitutional right and it is your legal right. What I want you to do, if those, you casted your vote in Anambra or Imo?
Calabar.
In Calabar. Yeah. Is it the Hausa man that is the presiding officer there? It's the same you are people that are supposed to bring change. They are the one that change that result within their limit. Isn't it? They are the one that influence the change of the result. So what you do, all those papers, all these true results that was not presented, get them for legal action. But first of all, if the youth of this country, who constitute 65% majority, assuming vehemently they came out and voted for the party of their choice, what happened could have not happened. Even though there's a development that most of these states, most of the youth exercise their franchise. Yes, yeah. They voted for
the turn-up.
The turn-up was fair, and they voted party of their choice, even though the result is not in their favor. But a journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 mile. Now that you will tighten your belt to do your gubernatorial vote and then the House of Assembly vote, so that changes that you're anticipating will happen at your corridor. That will be the only way forward. But when you withdraw your vote and another youth withdraw his vote, you leave us all the people to vote. Our vote is not significant. We are just like a vehicle on the hill. Either you apply brake, it will go down. No. So anybody that is above 55, getting to 60, he's quarter to go. You are now trying to climb up. And when you withdraw your service, when at the point of climbing up, you are doing more harm. Sanitize yourself, sanitize other youth, come out in mass, make a meaningful change by voting. You are right, Governor, you are right, House of Assembly. That will still be a solution in now and in future.
All right, thank you, sir. You know, you've said quite a lot, and I just hope that the youth will actually take that. Then quickly round up the Daily Times newspaper. Uproar as NCAT jars up tuition fee by over 100% to 30 million naira. And on 2023 polls, Abuja women storm National Coalition Center, threatening to go naked. This is how far people can go. We have Mr. Philip from Taraba on the line. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning.
Go on, sir. We're with you.
Yes, what I wanted to ask, the engineer, the gubernatorial candidate of YDP in Adamawa State. Now that the result has been announced and some people have been calling the Nigeria we are now is not rejoicing, everybody is mourning. Now, as a political party, from the opposition down to the lower opposition, is there anything that they can do for this result to be recounted or changed? So that at the end of the day, even though it goes to court, how are they going to fight it? Because at the end of the day, it's only the political candidate, there is only a candidate that will have to go to the court and change the result. We, the youth and the masses, will only be hearing it on the TV, on the news and social media. What are they going to do as a political party if needs be to challenge this result? Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
Okay. My brother, happy to hear from you because we are neighbors. The result has been announced, and I believe most Nigerians are not happy. But the only way we'll seek the redress is through the court of competent jurisdiction. Isn't it? And now, what I'm saying, you say the youth, but are we sure the vote, most of our youth, do they cast their vote? Do they protect it? Let us recall back. I have just wanted to cite an example. When Jonathan was there, he increased fuel. Nigerians demonstrated. When Obasanjo did the same, Nigerians demonstrated. But when this government of the day, who masterminded this election, increased fuel 3 times, there's no group of people came out to demonstrate. What are we saying? We have seen the signs and symptoms, but we refuse to go and look for medicine for it. Isn't it? The handwriting was existing on the wall, but we refused to read it, and we refused to intercept the handwriting on the wall. That is the mistake that we have been making in Nigeria. First of all, if something happened before we react, we're supposed to react before it happens. Today, fuel in Taraba and Adamawa, we are buying 395 per liter. But no single Nigerians, particularly from the northeast or from the northern Nigeria, has ever demonstrated why is it happening.
All right, let's take Mr. Isaac. Good morning, sir.
Hello.
We are with you, Isaac. Go on, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is Isaac from Abuja.
All right, Isaac, go on, please.
I support what the man over there said concerning what happened in 2015. Because 2015, everybody saw what happened.
Go on, Isaac, yes.
Nigerians were supposed to be wiser. Because from what happened then, everybody noticed that the election was rigged. But yet we kept quiet because of this ballot box of 18, tampering. So, but we kept quiet. Though at the initial time I was angry when this whole thing came up because I saw that it was the same thing that happened. But it's not. There is nothing anybody can do. The only thing we have to do is to go and strategize and also know of what to do against the coming election after 4 years again. Because if we should leave this whole thing like this, definitely it will still continue. Because for Tinubu to be open and wide, tell Nigeria that it is his turn to rule, that means they really know what is going on there. And everybody kept quiet while this thing was being said. So let us just leave everything and go back and strategize. That is my own opinion.
Thank you, Isaac, for that contribution. Of course, but I just want to, come at this point to say that, yes, you said the handwritings were clear. And then you openly stated the fact that most of these political parties are actually responsible for what we're going through right now. You give an instance of when boxes were shown and none of you care to even ask and say, we want to know the content of this. We want to know if the beavers are working. So automatically, Nigerians are to blame the political parties for what we're going through presently. But I want to ask at this point, just like Isaac said, okay, we have Mr. Simon from Taraba calling again. Good morning, Simon.
Good morning.
Morning, Simon. Please go on, we're with you.
Okay. I'm Simon. I'm calling from Taraba, Jalingo.
All right, go on, sir.
Okay. On what is happening presently now in Nigeria, we the youth, we are seriously angry. Our elders over there,
Hello, Isaac. Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
Elders over there doesn't think about youth. Always they are telling us we are the leaders of tomorrow, and they are still over there. How are we going to manage all this? We choose the man of our choice, but go up and turn the vote upside down. Please, these our elders should think twice and rethink about the Nigeria. We should not be continuing like this in this age. See, the ticket of Muslim and the Christian is not good. Let's stop doing this tribalism and the other things like that. So it's not good. We are one Nigeria. We're supposed to do something that are going to help our children coming aboard. Please, thank you.
All right, thank you, Isaac. So, sir, before we go, because our time is quick, fast spent, I would like to have your final thought on this. You've said quite a lot. Now, what can we do differently? Because the gubernatorial election is just few days, from now. What can we do differently?
There's still a room for improvement. If actually we want to improve, there's a room for improvement. Most of this anticipated result from most of our states that the opposition were leading. Why don't we put in place that all the governors from this opposition, that the opposition parties won, why don't we judiciously ensure that those people are elected into the seat of governorship together with the House of Assembly? Because if today about 25 governors in Nigeria are from opposition parties, and then House of Assembly are opposition parties. A lot of changes can be made. But if we still look into APC administration, where Tinubu is going to live very soon, that we are still going to vote APC into power of governorship, believe me, worst will happen. But if we resist and say that let us vote all this opposition so that most of the state in Nigeria will be dominated by opposition.
Thank you.
Please, if we stand and we put it in use and we stand by the word and put this thing in place and we voted these governors and House of Assembly, changes will be made.
Thank you
and
so
Nigerians
much.
will enjoy.
Of course, change is, imminent, and we have to be the reason. Please do remember to be peaceful, to be calm, and stay tuned for other lineup of other programs. Have a blessed day ahead.
Thank you.